duly filed as part of the package to this noble house. I'm not sure if I've left anything out of the
issues have arisen. And those three issues I will classify as trinity of repentance, of reconciliation, and of forgiveness. The third arm of the trinity is within the province of these hallowed chambers. And when you have this trinity,
point of order.
The third issue that comes up is the nominee. Supposing these hallowed chambers, by special grace of God, confirms your appointment as the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, will you extend what you have told us here in the larger society of repentance at all material time, of reconciliation, and of forgiveness? Thank you, Mr.
The answer to that question is a categorical yes. I will do precisely what the distinguished senator has asked me, and I will do it with the utmost integrity and seriousness, as I think we all learn on the job, and even though some of us are a little bit young, we're getting older by the day, and we learn that it's important to do precisely that. So the answer to that question is yes, sir.
The 15 million naira given to our organization was given to a company directly from the Nigerian Maritime Authority. Now, you have not told us the nature of job and the processes, because to pay 15 million naira of government's money directly from Maritime Authority to a beneficiary that has not been engaged by the Maritime Authority, I think there's some procedural error there. The right thing, to my mind, would have been for your organization to give all the necessary documents, maybe advert in the papers, due processes, and whatever it is, certificate of completion, and then whatever it's done, that money is then paid from your office to that organization, but not from the Maritime Authority directly to that organization without documentation from your office. I think there's a need for clarification on that. That's number one. Number two, we have trials and tribulations, and we have all sympathized with you. And you said in your statement that you did this because of the office that you have been given to do by Mr. President. Mr. President has appointed you a special assistant, and you have an obligation to protect that office and to do whatever you have to do to protect the President. This nomination is also by the President. It's not by another person. It's the President who is nominating you for this office. And from your statement, it means then that you will do whatever this office asks you to do, without respect to what you have done previously. I hope you understand what I mean. Please.
Because you remember, I asked him whether he has any regrets, and if he were to do it again, will he do the same thing? He addressed that very issue you raised. Why not he concentrate on the first leg of your question?
Thank you, Mr. Senate President. Thank you, distinguished senator, for that question. As far as my office is concerned, and as far as my understanding of the due process is concerned, we made an application, an open application for support because we had no money. The NMA went through all their due processes, having consulted with the minister, and they approved the money. The monies was paid into a company account simply because I am very uncomfortable with actually collecting money. The monies that were paid into that company account were then paid to the consultants which I had brought to my office, and I have the receipts to show that. Now, the monies were then used and distributed by that consultant. The company is there, he's alive and well, he has all this. And you ask the nature of the job. It's a very, very good question, because the business of running such an office and getting the job done, and enlightenment and sensitizing people, everybody in this room has been involved in that, because everybody in this room has been elected, and everybody in this room has people around them that are paid and that are spending money to ensure that they are protected. My job was to protect the president. To protect the president, you don't just talk. you also have to spend money, you have to travel, you have to enlighten people, you have to do so many things. And if I may say so, it was a very difficult job. But really, that is all I can say about that, sir, and I hope that it's a satisfactory answer.
Section 43 of our standing rules of Senate, and I hope that my comments under personal explanation in accordance with the rules would not generate any further debate. If I have your indulgence, Mr. Chairman, may I proceed? I find Senator Charles' Trinity analogy very, very interesting. And I must say that I have been very, very, very excited about the explanations that have been given by the distinguished nominee, especially with regard to his past, and especially the confessions that he has made as to his new orientation for the future. There is no doubt in these chambers that the gentleman standing before us ordinarily should not pass. Ordinarily. Because he is perceived by several Nigerians as a very, very rude gentleman who has abused very highly placed Nigerians in the discharge of his duties to the president. No doubt about that. And several people are agreed that his conduct or his exercise of discretion in the exercise or the discharge of his duties to the president of the country. No doubt about that. But here is the gentleman standing before us, indicating to us that he has had a past which was troubled. He has had a repentance of heart to the extent of seeking spiritual solution. He has also apologized for every misconduct that he has had the displeasure of undertaking in the course of the discharge of his duties. Mr. Chairman, as a Christian, and I believe that there are several Christians here, and there are several Muslims here, and these religions enjoin us to forgive, to forget, and to provide room for a new beginning. It is in that spirit, Mr. Chairman, that I'm appealing, that the case of the nominee be viewed from that perspective. Looking at his CV, we have no doubts whatsoever about his capabilities in terms of training and his competence in terms of how he has discharged his responsibilities to the president, which he is still occupying. I am optimistic that if he is confirmed as the Minister of the Federal Republic, that he will discharge that responsibility with the same enthusiasm and the same youthful vigor with which he has put into his present job. Mr. President, I wish to submit as such and beg our colleagues to please look at his case with absolute compassion. Thank you very much.
We have finished this taking of questions to the candidate. We will sit back and analyze the circumstances. At that point, if we are going to preach Trinity or any other Trinity, you can come with that. But as it is now, we take questions, please. Very strict questions. There will be time to make appeal.
You would have noticed that the questions took two patterns. The first is about probity. The second one is about courtesy. I believe you have so far answered the probity question satisfactorily, unless something else can be raised. The most serious problem you have is courtesy. That is the question of being courteous to people. Not fight, not killing anybody, not stealing, not doing anything. Just being courteous and rising above your job. I don't agree with you when you think that your job